Alright, so today I got 8 reasons on why you should be picking up some of these new collectibles, such as the Spider-Gwen and the Spider-Woman, alright? And more specifically on the Spider-Woman, I didn't really like her at first, but however, as I conducted my research, I realized that there's a lot of good reasons why you should be picking her up, and we're going to be going through that in this video. But really, this is focused on Spider-Gwen and why she is going to pop off for the coming year. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so if you look at the prices on these two collectibles, we have the Spider-Woman coming in at 62 gems, while the Ghost Spider is only at 109, which is honestly wonderful pickup prices at this point. And so if you're interested in purchasing, right now is a great chance. But let me tell you the 8 reasons why I actually like these two collectibles. Number 1, the first appearance tag. This is the very first time we have seen Spider-Gwen and Spider-Woman in their digital collectible format, and just for that reason alone, these are going to perform well. And even if you chose to ignore the other 7 reasons on this list, it's very clear that just having a first appearance tag will make anything appreciate within Veve, and it'll always stand the test of time. I imagine this is not going to be the first time that they drop Spider-Gwen, and so that's going to be extremely important for anyone holding this collectible. Reason number 2, Spider-Gwen is going to be a future icon for a lot of children everywhere, of all demographics as well. This is the very first time we have seen a woman Spider-Man on film in terms of Miles Morales' Into the Spider-Verse. If you didn't know, Miles Morales is a African-American Puerto Rican mix. These are two demographics that aren't often reached and talked about within the superhero community, or like just superhero pop culture in general. And with the introduction of a character like Gwen, you're also talking about another minority of like women, and just for this reason, it's appealing to a significantly different demographic, and it's changing kind of the way we choose to look at modern pop culture superheroes simply from these movies alone with Miles Morales. So yeah, that was number 2, future icon. Number 3, the cinematic appearance in Into the Spider-Verse. Now, it's also my understanding this is the very first time we've had a appearance of a Spider-Woman within the cinematic universe. For example, we have never seen this Spider-Woman come into the cinematic universe, and we've never seen any other version besides Peter Parker, essentially. That alone will make her a big driver just as a woman, a powerful female character. Additionally, with that cinematic appearance of Into the Spider-Verse, she has the 3rd most screen time on the movie, sitting right behind Peter B. Parker, which is Peter Parker's alternate dimension Peter Parker, and Miles Morales himself. So for having the 3rd most screen time in the movie, it's an extremely significant thing, especially given that she's the very first appearance of a woman superhero within the cinematic universe. And so the cinematic universe leads me into reason number 4. We're going to be having Spider-Gwen return for Into the Spider-Verse Part 2. All right, Return to the Spider-Verse. And so she's going to be a lead character in this movie, and just her singular reappearance is essentially proving to us that she is going to be a big character for the series long term. You know, this isn't going to be a one-off character that only showed up for 2 movies. It's clear that this is going to happen repetitively throughout the future. If you haven't seen the original Into the Spider-Verse, it was just a phenomenal movie, and I've seen it like 2 or 3 times already, just because of how kind of nostalgic it was, just to see like an animated version. Like, it was just such a great movie. The storyline, the plot, the characters, everything about this movie was done extremely well, especially for it being the first in its line of movies, if that makes sense. Reason number 5, her edition and rarity. Okay, even though she is a common edition, and with over 15,000 editions, we can actually use those large numbers to our advantage. In the future, when we have these Marvel Mighty mini games or the Veveverse, and we're going to have the ability to choose to play as these characters or these Mighties, the fact that there's going to be 15,000 editions is going to make her very popular and very well advertised. Okay, it's not going to be like, for example, the 2099 Spider-Man, where only a handful of people know about it. Only the Veve OGs like you and I are going to know about it. It's going to be a thing that a lot of people are going to be able to see, and a lot of people are going to get their eyes on. If the Veveverse or the Marvel Mighty video games does very well in the future, and for example replicates something like ROBLOX, you know, where people are running around with their own character skins and whatnot, what you'll see is like those significantly more rare items aren't popular because of the fact that they don't get a lot of attention. You know, there's not, you don't know about it, you're not going to increase the demand for it. So the fact that there's 15,000 editions of this particular collectible is going to make it a very well-known thing throughout the community and throughout the space, because a lot of people are going to have them, and so it's not entirely a bad thing that there's 15,000 of them. I also want to mention, because because there's 15,000 of them, that we'll probably not see this collectible be worth, you know, 5 digits in the future or anytime soon. We could see it being worth 4. We could see it being worth 1 to 2,000. We could see it reaching expensive numbers, but still in a range of affordability, because a lot of people are going to be looking at this and seeing this character as a affordable alternative solution to something like the common Spider-Man or the other Marvel Mighties. And it's a nice, sexy, slick option that a lot of people are going to enjoy. You know, it's as a wonderful colorway. And if you look at the movies, in terms of character structure and abilities, they're probably going to be Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man are probably going to be very equivalent in the Veveverse or in the Mighty games. So that's a really big reason, and I really like that one. Number 6, this is personally my favorite reason of them all, and kind of why I love this collectible so much, is the unique design. All right, this white on pink design is like nothing else we've ever seen on the app. And if I know anything from my time with video game skins and digital assets, it's that the brighter and more vibrant colors are often much more likely to retain a value or be desirable, just because of the fact that they're more prone to stick out and really be a eye catcher. You know, you don't buy a Maserati because it looks like red and blue. No, you buy a Maserati because it looks because it has this fire red and it's like clean. You know, you buy a nice car because it turns eyes and it turns heads, and that is something that this can do very well, especially when you consider the fact that Spider-Man will look like every other version of himself. There's so many other red collectibles. It's not particularly special in any way. It's very clear that Spider-Gwen is much more unique and vibrant on her own. Number 7, this is a high push character for Marvel, okay? It is very clear that in the last 7 years since she's been introduced in 2014, that they're trying to push her to the front of the lines. They're trying to get her in front of everything because of her broad fan base appeal. For example, if we look at a comparison of Spider-Woman, she's been around for about 40 years and we have yet to see her in any sort of cinematic film of any kind of sort. Why is it that we have Spider-Gwen pushed in front of these movies significantly more than Spider-Woman? And if you were a big company like Marvel, well, you would say because she's more profitable, she has a higher appeal and she meets more personas in front of her. I also wanted to add that during my research, I saw that there was a lot of rumors talking about Spider-Woman being in the next cinematic experience with Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen. If we see that coming true, we are going to be sitting really pretty with the Spider-Woman drop, and for her only being 60 gems and having an edition size of about 8,000, like half of Spider-Gwen, we could easily see the 60 gem collectible tripling in value on the announcement of Spider-Woman being in the next movie. It's not confirmed right now and it's just a rumor, but if we see that come true, it's really big moves coming from Spider-Woman. So you could literally directly profit from whatever movie is being made. Reason number 8, they are hot as